Alright, today we were fishing on a 27-foot deep, it's a deep rock bank. Also, if you'll notice in the video, there's a cave. This cave is known for holding a lot of crappie. The cave actually it runs all the way down at kind of a slant down to the left. And year round, I mean, you can always come in and catch a few crappie, but when the time is right, you can absolutely just slaughter the crappie here and catch your limit pretty easily. Of course, I'm fishing with Mikey, my good friend, and we're just figured we'd get out and check to see how the crappie were coming in since we'd had some cold weather that moved in recently. Mikey's using a 16th ounce Bobby Garland shad, baby shad. It's called a licorice color. It's a dark black. Of course, dark black's going to be dark, but it's a black and kind of a dark green color. The reason we went with the dark colors is because the water's stained. I was using a 1/32 ounce, and I was using just a regular grub, and it had the blue and black with a chartreuse tail. And later on in the video, you'll notice I swap up because Mikey pretty much started kicking my rear end when he was fishing with it. And as you can see right there, I did what was called a shooting style of casting. I bend down, kind of grab the hook onto the base, of course away from the end of the point, and shoot it up and under the end of the cave. And you can see Mikey doing it right here. This way it's a lot easier, because if you don't have room to swing around and cast, then obviously you're not going to be able to get up in there and get at a good angle. Here I am catching a black crappie. This is what all we caught this day. We've got into some white crappie here, but not too many, and we started catching them pretty consistent. No big fish. This crappie here, most of the crappie we caught were about 8 inches long, and the reason I've dubbed over this with my voice is because I got a new GoPro camera, and the microphone is pretty bad on them. You can't hear anything you're saying, so from now on I'm probably going to do some voiceovers. But that's another key point I was making there. If you don't watch, and there's our lures we're using. When crappie fishing, they pretty much, a lot of the times you can't see them bite, so you got to pay very close attention to your line. If you notice, I'm using clear line, Mikey's using clear line. That's what I like to use because my eyesight's not bad yet. But if you look at a lot of people, they use the high vis line. Obviously, from the amount of fish people catch around here using it, it don't really matter, but you can really see the tick, as I call it. It's just a slight bump on the line. And of course, when you see that, you want to set the hook. Now right here, Mikey hooks up with a huge crappie. This fish, close to 13 inches long, 13.5 inches long. This is our best fish of the day. Of course, we took it off the hook and chunked it in the live well. Total today, we caught 7 keepers, and we ended up just releasing them because 7's not really enough to make a good mess, and we've still got fish in the freezer, so no use in keeping fish if you don't want. If you don't need them, don't keep them. We fished this spot for quite a good while and caught several fish, mostly short fish, and like I said earlier, Mikey he wore me out today.
They're right about 8 inches there.
Mikey was using 2-pound line actually, and I was using a 4-pound fluoro. I like using fluorocarbon, but one of the issues people have with fluorocarbon is it twists really bad on them. Now, I've bought the Fluger arbor reels, and they're made for fluorocarbon and braid. It has a very large bell on it, and it really limits the twist in the line, having that large bell. And I've never been more happy with the type of reel. And you can check in on those. They run anywhere from, I think, $69 to $89, depending on the model number you get. But it's a Fluger arbor, and I was using a 7'6" rod. It's the one I use a lot of times when I go crappie fishing. It's a 7'6" light. I know a lot of people use small rods and all that stuff when they're crappie fishing, but I fish a lot off the bank, and obviously you've seen in a lot of my videos, so if I don't, I can't get to where I'm going by boat, so I got to cast that far, so that's why I use a long rod, because I can really slang it out there. And here I hook up with a solid keeper crappie here. This one was a little bit over, about 11 inches. So hook it up and chunked her in the live well. And you can see here I've swapped back over to I've swapped to the Bobby Garland. Now the Bobby Garland, that's in my opinion one of the absolute best lures for crappie I've ever used. I mean, I used to think minnows, but no, minnows. I've not used minnows in years now since I discovered these little guys. And again, you can see me shooting up into the cave using the casting method like that. And of course, as you can see, here's Mikey catching another one. But anyway, we had a really good day. It was started out cool that morning, about 49 degrees. Warmed up pretty warm that day, around 82 degrees. But all in all, it was a good day, and we caught several fish, bumped a couple different areas, and caught some off of trees. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all have a good one, and keep watching, keep subscribing.